Hi, my name is Benjamin Katz, and welcome back to a special Canada edition of the 40 State Ice Cream Review, where today I'm at Pomodori Pizza trying the two flavors, pumpkin spiced cheesecake and nutmeg. Now, this is a gelato, so it's going to be a lot denser, and the sizes are going to be a lot smaller. But we will not let that deter us, and we'll get started with the pumpkin spiced cheesecake. So to me, gelato has always kind of felt like an ice cream concentrate, where the bites that you're taking are going to be smaller, but the amount of ice cream that you feel like you're eating is still about the same, regardless of the actual cup size. This pumpkin spiced cheesecake tastes a bit watery. That seems like the best way to describe it. The flavor isn't really all that concentrated. And while, of course, the gelato texture is quite dense and creamy, I'm not picking up a lot of the cheesecake or pumpkin spice that I would be expecting in a pumpkin spice cheesecake flavor. Yeah, the texture is really good. I have no complaints on the texture. Just the flavor itself feels very muted and dull, and not exactly what I would expect from a cheesecake flavor, which is usually fairly strong, and a pumpkin spice flavor, which is also usually fairly strong. Let's try with the nutmeg now. I'm guessing this is going to taste similar to eggnog, simply because it is a very rich cream with nutmeg on it. It's kind of what eggnog is, except with a bit more alcohol. Add in a bit of spiced rum, and this is eggnog 1-to-1. I'm a fan of this nutmeg flavor. Let's try both flavors together and see what happens. I'm going to bias it towards the pumpkin, because the nutmeg flavor is very strong, and I'm guessing it'll overwhelm the pumpkin fairly easily. Okay, the nutmeg does bring out the pumpkin spice. It doesn't add any cheesecake flavor to it, but the nutmeg is making the pumpkin spice a bit stronger. Still not as strong as I would like, but it is definitely improving the pumpkin flavor. That said, the combination is not that much better than the sum of its parts. I think I would just prefer to have the nutmeg as opposed to the nutmeg and pumpkin spice. I did get the pumpkin spice because it is fall now, and we are looking at more of these pumpkin-y flavors, which I love seeing. Anything that feels seasonal, I'm a big fan of. And when it's autumn, you gotta have pumpkin spice. It's just an unwritten rule of living in North America. Okay, I think I'm ready for my closing thoughts. This is not an ice cream shop. This is a pizza place that has gelato attached to it. And while they make a good gelato, the focus definitely isn't on the ice cream. The focus is on the pizza. And they make sense. This was not my first choice for ice cream shops to go to today, but all of the ice cream dedicated shops were closed for the season. Since we are fairly far north, I have been having a lot of trouble finding actual places that will serve me ice cream. And usually the places that are still open and serving, even during this time of year, are going to be shops that are attached to other forms of business. The general stores, the pizza places, the diners that just so happen to have a shelf of ice cream along with their regular offering. So I'm actually not going to be that critical of Pomodori today because they're not trying first and foremost to be ice cream, or gelato in this case. I really did have to stretch the definition of this quest because of the winter time, and I am quite upset that this is the case, but there's not that much demand for ice cream, especially in the later months, as it gets cold and icy. So, St. John being on the East Coast, if you are driving up New Brunswick on the East Coast, you're going to stop by it. Or there is also a port here with several cruise ships that I saw docked in it. You're probably going to be stopping here during all times of the year. So if you're here in the late spring, summer, early fall, I would go to a dedicated ice cream shop because they're going to be offering a lot more volume of ice cream for probably better prices and with more focus on uniqueness of flavor. But if you're here in the winter, if you're here during the cold season, and you're in a pinch, I would stop by Pomodori because they're serving a good quality product. While a bit pricey, it was about $5 for this tiny little cup of two flavors. It does scratch the ice cream itch. And it is important to have places that are still open during the winter months. So I'm not actually mad that they're serving this offering they have. If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing, or go to findfiltermarketing.com for more on the journey. Thank you.